this race.
Monster run off turn 2.
Can't get it to the high side. Here he comes. There he goes. Oh, no, Kansas saves, and here they come to the line.
I'm a fortune teller who sees the future, and I see it now.
I'm expecting something with Ferrari this weekend, and he ended up at Hendrick somehow.
Oh, God. No, please. Oh, God. I don't like that thought.
Driving to 5.
I can see the goosebumps that just hit Jacob just now.
Carson.
So, now that we are going to go into IndyCar, we actually don't have a whole lot now that the season is over. We are into silly season and the off season. We've talked about a lot of silly season moves the past 2 weeks or so, but Chip Ganassi Racing has added yet another driver to their full-time lineup next year. Kiffin Simpson to join Chip Ganassi Racing full-time in 2024. If you don't know who Kiffin Simpson is, he is from Barbados. I actually did not know that. Oh my God, he's younger than I am. Oh, that's depressing. Oh dear. This man is 18 years old and he's going to be racing an IndyCar next year. Oh, that was kind of a shock to the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be really, really young. Born 3 years after myself, so definitely going to be interesting. But he's had some time doing some races over at least the last couple of years, and he's kind of been waiting in the wings with Chip Ganassi, if you will. But this definitely does. I don't know if I want to say feel early, but I mean he's been solid in the the races that he's competed in. It's just that age is something. But hey, we'll see what he's able to do, and we'll see how well he's able to compete.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this before, but it always feels like that guys are getting their shots way too early and still need their time to develop. But we don't know. We're not the drivers. So we will see. We will find out when the season starts next year. The schedule still hasn't been released for the 2024 IndyCar season. We really only know officially dates for the All-Star race, Indy 500, Nashville, and a couple other races, such as maybe St. Petersburg. I would assume that they would start their season there next year, as they usually do. But we will see when the schedule officially releases. But one of the things that I want to talk about before we wrap up our IndyCar segment, like I said, we don't have a lot for our IndyCar segment, early driver power rankings. So I want us to come up with drivers 10 through 1 and explain why. So number 10, we can actually reference the points. That would actually help a little bit from this past season. So number 10, if the points would load. Okay, so 10 through 1 in the points from this past IndyCar season: Colton Herta, Alexander Rossi, Christian Lundgaard, Will Power, Marcus Ericsson, Joseph Newgarden, Pato O'Ward, Scott McLaughlin, Scott Dixon, and Alex Palou. Can we just agree that Palou is number 1?
I think Palou is easily number 1 for me. I don't see any reason to change that. Obviously won the whole thing by quite a large margin. Honestly, I like the top 2. I like Palou and Dixon. I really like Dixon in second. I feel like, maybe switch Newgarden and McLaughlin. I'm not against that.
Okay, that's fair. So if I had to give my 1 through 5, I would put Palou, Dixon 1, 2. I would put McLaughlin at 5, Pato at 4, and Newgarden at what did I say? Pato at 3, Newgarden at 4.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I think Pato had a really solid year, and I feel like Newgarden's going to come back strong after a
Mhm.
really solid middle stretch of the season, and then just plateauing at the end of the year. So
Mhm.
that one will be interesting. And looking further down the top 10, I actually Marcus Ericsson sixth in the points last year, but I would have him a little bit lower on these power rankings. Obviously, switching teams, and that's going to take some time. Um, and then I'd probably bump Colton Herta up a little bit as well. I have confidence in him going into next season as well.
So, if we are keeping let's see. This is because this is interesting. I would actually bump Colton Herta out and replace him
Okay.
with Kyle Kirkwood. So Kirkwood would be 10. I would have Rossi at 8 with Lundgaard, and then keep Ericsson and Power where they are.
Okay. And see,
So,
when I
like
say
I said,
move Erickson down, I say I would probably switch. I'd put Power at 6, put Rossi at 7, Lundgaard at 9, and Erickson at 8, maybe.
okay, that's fair.
And maybe keep Colton Herta at 10 at that point. Because all those guys are better than Colton Herta. I have my confidence in Colton Herta,
Yeah.
but then when I relook at it again, it's like, where's Colton Herta really going to go? Do I really think Colton Herta is going to outrun Will Power and Alexander Rossi and Marcus Ericsson next year? No, I don't. So
No. And there could be arguments for Felix Rosenquist as well, but it's tough. It's really tough.
absolutely gonna be an interesting season for a lot of different drivers, and really in that small section 5 through 10, going to be very interesting to see what happens to all those guys.
Yeah, so we promise that we will have more IndyCar content in the off season. We kind of got dealt the short card with me being at Bristol this past weekend and not having really enough time to talk about it. But we promise that we will have more IndyCar season content in the off season. So we do apologize for the brief segment that we had for today for the IndyCar, but we will have more IndyCar content to come up with in the future for you guys. So with that being said, let's talk about my personal favorite race of the season, the Bristol Night Race.